Ask the Professional, and I have a series of questions from my wonderful followers here on either Facebook, Instagram, or on YouTube. And these questions are legitimate questions that I'm going to be asking myself, obviously, because these are questions that I've gotten offline. Feel free to comment below, ask your own series of questions, because I'll be more than willing to answer any of the questions that you have at this point in time. But without further ado, I'm going to begin. All right. The first question that I have here is what are the best exercises to help with muscle separation in the abdominal area? Because some sites say you can fix it with exercise, but others say you will make it worse. Well, okay. Well, I'm not going to address you by name because I think that's a private thing. So basically what I'm going to say to you is that, with a little bit of research, and I've done my research on this, but this is more dealing with issues after pregnancy, right? So typically when you have gone through pregnancy, you will go through something called diastasis recti, right? Which means the muscles have separated within the fascia of your rectus abdominis, right? So you have several types of diastasis recti, so I'm going to address them all, and then I'm going to give you your answer. So with diastasis recti, you have either an above the navel, a below the navel, an open or a completely open diastasis recti, right? Now, in my opinion, all of them will require different, I wouldn't say different, actually, they would all require the same type of exercises initially, but then you have to be careful about what it is that you're doing after the fact. So what I would strongly suggest anybody do immediately after pregnancy typically is to do planks. Why? Because planking is a holding exercise, right? So therefore you're not contracting one way or another. It's a static hold. So you're strengthening those muscles to either contract and close the fascia together, or you're going to hold them steady and not exacerbate the diastasis recti. So for instance, if you have an upper one, if you have an upper open rectus abdominis, basically any exercise that makes you rotate is not going to, upper body rotation is not going to be helpful to it, because all you're going to do is constantly separate them. Crunches will only further, it wouldn't make it worse, it'll just accentuate the openness that you have, right? If it's below the navel, again, when you're below the navel, if you're doing leg raises, you're only going to make it worse. Whereas if you just simply do muscular contractions, muscular contractive holds at the lower end of your abdominal muscles, you will be able to basically create more stabilization that way. If it's just simply open, I believe just regular exercise will be able to keep everything where it's at and just make it won't close back to normal, but it won't get any worse. Then finally, the complete open, anything you do outside of planking is just going to make it separate more and more. If you're willing to forego the aesthetic appearances of all of that, any exercise will do. However, if you're trying to get some form of a resemblance back of what your physique used to look like, then I would strongly suggest that you diet and also do planking and do static exercises that are abdominal based, rather than doing strength and power based exercises at that time. All right, second question. How do you get motivated again? I'm in a rut and can't seem to get out. Okay. Everybody goes through this. I don't care if you're the top of the top in whatever sport you're in, or whether you're just starting out and you're trying to get off the floor based on weight gain and weight loss goals, right? So me personally, I can only speak from personal experience, but in some cases for me, I follow the Michael Jordan method, and I'm calling it the Michael Jordan method for a reason, because what you have to do is be borderline psychotic. You're not psychotic literally, obviously, because Michael Jordan is not literally psychotic, but you have to be borderline psychotic in finding your motivation to getting you to get where you want to be. So for instance, for me, I look at any slight or any any living reason for me to be motivated to come after you. And what I mean by coming after you is okay, somebody might make a comment about my physique and say I'm small. You know what? Okay, fine. You said I'm small. I'm gonna show you how small I'm not. And I'm going to go and push myself to the next level of whatever it is that I have to do in order to get to where I want to go. So any perceived slight, you not mentioning me in the pantheon of athletes, or you not mentioning me in anything that I feel myself worthy to be mentioned in, I am now going to take high offense to it, and I'm going to use that offense to motivate myself to be the best version of myself. So if you're in a rut, whatever your goal is, so let's say you want to do another triathlon. Somebody didn't, you've done them, you've completed them. Fine, you've done all of that. What's the motivation now? You can't do it any faster. I bet you can't do it any faster. Look, you can't even get into the gym to get it done. So what makes you think you're gonna get it done faster? Are you kidding me? Ha 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 ha, right? Now, take that. Now, what I just said to you should literally be like nails on a chalkboard in your ears. If you have the type of motivation that I have, that would be nails on a chalkboard to your ears. You would be highly offended that somebody would even suggest that you are not even capable of being successful at this, right? Now, take that anger, take that disgust, and make it your motivation, because that's what I do, honestly, and I'm being genuinely honest with you. Anytime somebody slights me in something that I believe that I am capable of being successful at, I am now motivated to come after you. And that will be my motivation in general, all right? Third question. When losing weight, is it best for you to do cardio routines until you reach your desired weight and then weight train, or should it be done together? I have covered this extensively, and I'm going to repeat myself. You do not do extensive amounts of cardio to get to your goal weight. Why? Because it is a metabolism killer. You will kill your metabolism by doing all cardio, because your type 2 muscle fibers is what burns the most fat, right? So it burns the most energy, it burns the most sugar. Therefore, if it burns the most sugar, guess what's left over? Fat, right? Whereas if you are just doing cardio all the time, you have to get into a place of slight depletion in order to consistently burn body fat, right? But also, when you're in strict cardio, your muscle tone goes, your metabolism diminishes, therefore your overall metabolic burn suffers, right? Your best bet is to always do your weight training first, then do your cardio after. Why is that? You can't argue with bodybuilders in this regards, because if you argue with bodybuilders in this regards, it's proof positive. Every bodybuilder on the planet comes into the gym, they work out, they lift their weights to whatever routine they're doing, then they go and do their cardio afterwards. Guess what? They're ripped to shreds. When it comes time to be that way, they're ripped to shreds and they're more than motivated. Their bodies are clearly in great definition. They have the mass that they want. So therefore, whatever body, especially women who are conscious of their muscle girth, right? So if you're wide at the hips or thick in the thighs or round in the booty, you know, most women don't want to lose those assets, right? So therefore, it is always best for you to actually lift, then do cardio, both on the same day, rather than just coming in and doing cardio until the weight comes on. Because when you get to the point where you lose the weight, when you go back to start lifting weights, guess what's going to happen? You're going to need to eat a lot more in order to grow the muscle that you're going to need to grow. So why lose the muscle you already have and, you know, to build it back up later, when all that's going to happen is that because your metabolism is suffered, when you try to eat to gain weight, to gain muscle again, you're going to gain more body fat than you would have had you just simply lifted and did cardio. All right? Hope that helped you. Okay, fourth question. Why am I losing weight all over but gaining back fat, aka brawl rolls. Okay, this one is a little bit more assumptive. I'm going to assume that A, you're not focused on your back workouts. B, you're doing more cardio than you should be doing. And if those are the two things that is the case, confirm or deny this for me when you see this. But if you are doing more cardio than you are weight training, then guess what's going to happen? You are in fact going to, you know, like I just mentioned before, you're going to start shrinking. Truthfully, you are going to start shrinking, but the problem is that you're also going to lose that muscle girth. So because you're losing muscle girth in your latissimus dorsi, in your back, all of the excess body fat that you were carrying through pregnancy is going to remain as you're losing all of this weight. But because your muscle density you're losing muscle density, you're also going to be getting back fat because I'm going to assume that you're still top heavy, and as a result of being top heavy, the way your body is designed, your endowment comes from your ribs, not from the front. So as a result, you're going to have a slight case of back fat, but the best way to combat that is to build your lats, because when you build your lats, the muscles will spread the back fat evenly throughout your back. Therefore, and especially when you start burning the calories, the fat from your back by doing cardio after your weight training regimen, you will then start to notice that the back fat is gone and you're going to find yourself in a better position there. All right? Last question. How can I find motivation to lose weight or even go to the gym? I'm a Planet Fitness member, but I don't even go. I really do want to get in shape and lose weight. All right, I'm gonna drop the book for this one. And I might ruffle some feathers on this one, but I really don't care. Find another gym. Planet Fitness is a scam, y'all. I'm just gonna tell you straight out. And if Planet Fitness wants to come after me, go right ahead, and I'll challenge them when I point out their business models. All right? It's a scam. And I'm gonna break it down for you. Why Planet Fitness is not the gym that you need to go to in order to be successful. It's about culture. When you are at a gym, the culture that you're in will generate the mindset that you need to be in order to be successful. So Planet Fitness, correct me if I'm wrong, is a gym where you pay $10 a month to go there, but you're not to be judged by your body type, which most gyms don't do. You're not to be judged by the way you train, which that's subjective, right? If you're actually giving it your all, nobody's judging you in any gym. And if they are judging you, shame on them, and they deserve to be punished for doing so, right? But I'm going to speak to this specific business model. You're not allowed to grunt. You're not allowed to scream. You're not allowed to drop the weights in exhaustion. You're not allowed to lift beyond a certain amount of weight, because they will determine that you are intimidating everyone else around you. Now, I'm gonna be frank with you. I've been to Planet Fitness and I've seen the atmosphere that is there. No one is in there pushing themselves to their absolute limit. Now, what I want to point out to you is I'm still not judging you based on what you lift, because I can kill you with 1 pound. I can exhaust you with 5 pounds. For God's sakes, if you've been to my YouTube channel and you've done the Stout Fitness Saturdays with Stout Fitness Challenge, you have seen that I have exhausted myself with 12.5 pounds, right? It is no judgment into what type of weight you're lifting. And it's all about the effort and how hard you are trying, right? So if you're picking up 5 pounds and it's exhausting, you are tired, you're sweating up a storm, your muscles are sore after working out with 5 pounds the next day, that is the right weight for you. So I want you to understand that. Please understand that. And anybody else listening to this video or watching this video, please understand what I'm telling you. Do not assume that because you're in the gym lifting 5 pounds and the guy or girl next to you is lifting 50 pounds means that you are not giving it your all. Do not do that to yourselves, because that is not That is not true. You are pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone with whatever weight is significant to you. It is all subjective. It is not a pissing contest. I'm just gonna put it out there. It is not a pissing contest. It is a challenge to yourself and only yourself. When you get into competitive athletics, that's a different story, but even then, it is comparative to people who are in the same condition and position as you. All right? So when you see so if I'm in the gym and I'm bench pressing 250 pounds and the guy next to me is only bench pressing 135, I want you to pay attention to something. Are we struggling the same? That's the first question I want to ask you. Are we struggling the same? If he's taking 135 and he's just cranking them out left and right, and I'm going with 250 pounds and I'm struggling on the first one, then obviously our workouts aren't the same. He might be going for an endurance-based workout. I'm going for power, or I'm going for strength, right? However, if this guy next to me takes 135 pounds and he's struggling and he's pushing the same exact way that I am with 250 pounds, guess what? We are working the same work. It is no different. Even though the weight is significantly lighter to me, the work that he's doing is significant in the same way 250 pounds is to me that 135 is to that individual. So never look at what the next person is doing. What you have to start doing is start judging how hard you pushed yourself. Are you breathing heavy? Are your muscles sore the next day? Do you feel tired after your workout? Are you putting in anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour worth of time of working out? If you're doing all of those things, then you are making progress, and congratulations to you. That is all that you need to do in order to be successful, right? But however, the gym model, the business model of Planet Fitness is you can't push yourself to your absolute limits because they will kick you out. And you cannot, try extremely hard. You can't try hard, period, because if you are seen running and building up a ridiculous sweat, they might put you out. If you're seen lifting 500 pounds and grunting and screaming because it is a level of intensity that you need to have in order to move something like 500 pounds, guess what? They will kick you out. So I'm issuing the challenge to them myself. Go ahead, show me somebody that's been successful in your gym. From top to bottom, from the beginning, the moment they walked in there, they have done this without any type of medical intervention, that they were successful at your gym with that business model. Go ahead, show it to me. I'm almost certain if you can find me, I'm sure you'll probably find me one out of every gym that has done it. One. All right? Whereas if you go to other gyms, they've got a whole stable full of people who have successfully made these changes to their bodies without following this nonsense of gym intimidation. Gym intimidation is a myth, y'all. I'm telling y'all that right now. Gym intimidation is a flat out myth. Nobody's going in there to intimidate you for being in the gym. Are there assholes out there who will turn around and try to hit on you because they want to get with you or whatever? Sure. Are there assholes out there that will try to make fun of you to make themselves feel better? Absolutely. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you the secret behind all of that. The secret behind all of that is to let them watch. Because if they're laughing at you now, they won't be later. I promise you they won't. Because when you go and get what it is that you're after, when you finally are in the shape that you want to be in, to hell with them. And they're gonna come up and talk to you, oh man, you've made some amazing progress. And you know what you say? I know, and you keep it moving, all right? So, first step, get out of Planet Fitness. Find yourself another gym. Find yourself a culture that you want to aspire to. Not necessarily have to be a gym of CrossFitters. It doesn't have to be a gym full of bodybuilders. It doesn't have to be a gym full of powerlifters. It doesn't have to be a mixed martial arts gym. It doesn't have to be anything like that. All it has to be is a gym where they're clearly in a shape where you want to be in, and clearly they have the right mindset and attitude about being in shape. You know, I'm in the best environment that I could possibly be in for all of that, but what I'm telling you is wherever you go, there's gyms like that. I'm not going to turn around and make it sound like X gym is the best gym ever, or Y gym is better than X gym. But I guarantee you, success, real true fitness success, is in the culture of the gym that you train at. All right? So get out of Planet Fitness, because the other thing is that when you stop going and you realize that you're wasting money, the thing in the back of your mind is it's only $10, right? So guess what? There's no cost to the mate to maintain their equipment because they're not slamming the weights. They're not dropping the weights with intensity. There's no maintenance of the weights because nobody's leg pressing the entire rack of the machine, right? So therefore the tension cables are never stressed, right? So then on top of that, because nobody is pounding the equipment, their maintenance fees or their maintenance costs are low. Then on top of that, because you really are cavalierly going to Planet Fitness, you're not going with this intensity and urgency to get in the shape that you need to be in. You're going there just to go. But when you decide that, Game of Thrones is on, I'll stay home instead of going to the gym. Or when you turn around and say The Bachelor's on, I'm gonna stay home and go to the gym. Or better yet, you might be one of us that says, hey, football is on tonight. I'm gonna go home and watch that. Guess what? You are easily being deterred because you don't have a negative consequence for your action, right? So usually when you have a personal trainer, like me, when you have a personal trainer, what's the negative connotation when you have a personal trainer? A, they're gonna call you, they're gonna blow up your phone, they're gonna get in your butt and tell you need to bring your ass to the gym, right? That's number one. Number two, the other thing is that my rates per day per hour you train with me is substantial. And since I charge you up front, you're more than motivated to come in because why? You've already paid me. And when you've paid me, you're gonna get your money's worth because you ain't gonna go home without feeling like you've done something because I paid you a substantial amount of money to get a feeling from the gym. So, I would advise you to get a personal trainer, and if you can't get one, what I would strongly advise you to do is find a gym with a culture that definitely promotes and challenges you to be the best version of yourself without judging you for who you are right now at all, okay? So again, thank you guys for sending me those questions. Anybody has any comments, like or share this experience that you have gotten. Not only that, also don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. And also, thank you for the questions. And if you have any more questions, feel free to either piggyback off of this video or feel free to shoot me a direct message on either of those platforms and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, all right? Have a nice day. Be the best you.